get us started now. The kicker, Chris Boswell, gets strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there'll be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Now they go screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Wilson will throw again. Flushed out right. Room here to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there in that scramble.
Now it's Wilson. He's going to air the... And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Doug Baldwin, 32 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And when you talk about the best quarterbacks in the NFL, you have to talk about Ben Roethlisberger. And he's used to competition. Remember the class he came out of in 2004 with Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers also available.
How many do you think envisioned the greatness of that class at the time?
I don't think to the levels that we've seen. Potential, no doubt. But how many Super Bowls collectively have these guys won?
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Roethlisberger, throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, the All-Pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. He'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Seahawks will take over at their own 20. And here comes the Steelers defense making their way onto the field. And we watch now how effective they've been, how disruptive they've been in the backfield.
What's been so difficult for the offense is that you know that they spent all week rehearsing these things, working on blitz pickups, protections, knowing where the pressure is likely to come from. They've read the scouting reports. They've watched the tape. But sometimes, under pressure, that coordination breaks down, and I think that's what we're seeing here.
He hits Baldwin right side. Give him 30 yards there.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and boy, he's been good. And before they can run another play, the clock hits 000. And time is up on the first quarter. 7-0 is our score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. From midfield now, here's Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way down to the 9. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 41 yards. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So the offensive unit called the TO. And now we are ready to resume play. And from the 9-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. To throw is Wilson. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Bud Dupree coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Flush to his right. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Now Wilson steps away. Touchdown, Seahawks. Extra point try now for Walsh. And it's good to make it 14-0. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And our attention shifts here to the Seahawks defense. And we're going to get a peek at some of the hits that have helped them get this first half lead.
And you know how the best hits happen? By
incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
They certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And a loose football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. And defensively, maybe an opportunity miss there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make a huge play. Instead, he's able to recover his own fumble. And big sigh of relief, huh?
Yeah, usually those wide receiver fumbles, there's open space around for the defense, but not there. He hops right back on it. On 3rd down, here's Bell. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Here's Jordan Berry now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Lockett. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
First down, Wilson. Complete. Richardson has it. The 30, the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Cole Richardson, 82 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
Walsh now for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put... any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now Roethlisberger to throw, and that's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And he finds McDonald. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Got his man complete over the middle. It's McDonald. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On third down, Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first half hat trick, doesn't he? Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Bud Dupree in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Fresh set of downs here. The gun. Here's Wilson being chased out left. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. From the shotgun, Wilson escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime. All right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. Third quarter now. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And the Steelers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He completes it to Bryant. 23 yards on the play. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
He's to the 10, and he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
That's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back, but now I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, second-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the first.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. And that's going to leave them with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. Now Roethlisberger. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Sheldon Richardson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss. And that'll lead to a 4th down.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down. And that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. And Boswell's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off that lead.
And now you put the pressure on your defense, who didn't particularly play all that well in the first half. But they're going to need to step it up here and make some plays if these guys are going to have any chance.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker couldn't make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him. Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And his throw here's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. He can run for it, and he will. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Letting one go. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Paul Richardson, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he can't quite pick it. No interceptions so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Returnable for Lockett. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Give him 6 on the play, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Flushed out right. That's caught at the 25. A big play that time for the Seahawks. And even 40 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And now a first down following that long gain. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Dancing to his left. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got it first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now first and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes this.
Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Wilson wants to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up. 4
touchdown passes, carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. So they're going to go for 2. Wilson now, operating from the gun, buying time to his left. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Up big, and they go for 2, and they get it.
I remember being in high school and seeing an article in the paper where a local columnist had said, why are we fighting over sportsmanship and running up the score? Just run it up on everybody and deal with it. Some people just don't care that way, and obviously this coach feels the exact same way.
So that article was saying the defense should be able to stop them.
That's what they're trying to say. Hey, if you don't want it to happen, stop them. Otherwise, quit whining about it.
Now the Steelers' offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And some space here. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a second down. Second down, and the offense needing 5 yards. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Michael Bannon in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And not much room there, so he'll get it up only to about the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They run again with Carson. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Good night, everybody.